It is summertime, and that means it's time to haul hay. And that's exactly what Lad and the crew are gonna do today. So I am gonna get dinner ready so that when they're all finished hauling hay, they can just come home, settle in, and chow down. Now, first up on the menu is delicious chunky chili. And it actually takes about 3 hours to cook, and that's why I'm starting it now before the hay hauling even begins. So, before you got here, I tossed a bunch of chuck roast in seasoned flour. I just seasoned it with salt and pepper. I also seasoned the chunks of chuck roast. Okay, so I'm gonna crank up the heat just a little bit, and look at how brown this is, Paige. How beautiful. Can you see into the pot? Yum, yum, yum. Now I'm gonna add all the stuff that turns beef into chili. So 2 cans of tomato sauce. Most of the time, whenever I make chili here on Drummond Ranch, I use ground beef, and it's more of a ground beef-based hamburger chili. But I love chunky chili. It's almost like stew when you finish it up, but it has all the, not to be confused with that stew.
Stew.
So I've got the beef and tomato sauce in the pan, and I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of regular chili powder. And then, for a little spin, ooh, a tablespoon of ancho chili powder, which is really just unmistakable. I love the flavor of ancho chili powder. And I like combining regular chili powder with ancho. And then, whoop, get a tablespoon in there, tablespoon of cumin. Okay, and then some minced garlic goes in. Look at that, doesn't it look good? And I'll stir it around. And then I've got to add about a cup of water just to help make the chili nice and saucy. My girls grew up hauling hay on this ranch. Would you girls say it's one of your favorite activities or one of your least favorite?
Least favorite.
She gets down there on the least favorite.
I never understood why they don't love it, because you really just stay in a truck and just haul back and forth. But
Because you're pulling thousands of pounds of hay.
that's so true. So I added a cup of water and some salt and pepper. And now,
Yuck. You need a bottle opener.
do I? I guess I don't drink beer. I do need a bottle opener. Shoot. Hold on. Yeah, would you please? Thank you, Alex. Detu Adis. Okay, so next thing I'm gonna add is a bottle of beer. I just like beer and chili, and I like beer and chili. So, a few dashes of hot sauce, because I get nervous if I don't add hot sauce to everything I make. And then the last thing, I'm gonna go ahead and add the beans now. And I've got a can each of pinto beans, black beans, and kidney beans. And I have them in these little strainers because I poured them out of the cans and I rinsed them and drained them.
Do you know that some people don't like beans in their chili?
I know, beans and chili is a controversial thing. But I like to add them now. They're gonna get kind of mushy and all mixed in, but that doesn't matter to me. All right, so now all I've gotta do is put the lid on the pot, turn it down to a simmer, and let it cook for 3 hours. See you back then. All right, the hay operation has officially begun, and this chili is officially done. That was kind of a rhyme. Look at this. Can you believe this is what the chili looks like after 3 hours? Every now and then I checked it and gave it a stir and made sure it wasn't getting too dry. If you feel like it is, you can always just splash in more hot water. It looks perfect. Now I'm gonna actually let it cool before I put it in the fridge, but I know someone here really wants to taste this. Who is it? Paige. Paige is hungry.
Yes.
Her mouth is watering, so look at this, Alex. Now I made some condiments to go with the chili. Chipotle cream, which is nothing more than chipotle peppers, a little bit of adobo sauce, and sour cream. I'm gonna put it right on top, along with a little bit of red onion and a little bit of cilantro. I think we should taste it together.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Me too. This looks amazing. Oh.
Oh my gosh, that's so good.
So I'm gonna chill the little condiments on a tray, cover this up. These will be ready to go. And then I'm gonna let the chili cool down completely, and then I'll put it in the fridge. The main course for dinner is already done. We all know what chili pie is. Basically, you crack open a bag of corn chips, pile chili right into the bag, add onion and cheese, sour cream. Other people call them walking tacos, but I am going to turn that concept into a burrito, and I'm not gonna regret it, I'll tell you that. So I've been browning 2 pounds of ground beef, and I'm gonna add a couple of tablespoons of tomato paste and some minced garlic, and then plenty of salt and pepper. And I'll stir this just so that tomato paste can start to fry on the bottom of the pan. This mixture is looking good, so I'm going to add a can of tomato sauce and a can of diced tomatoes with green chilies. It's a staple of the South right here, definitely a staple of Texas. And then 2 cans of kidney beans that I drained and rinsed. And basically what I'm doing is making a super fast chili. This is not an artisan chili. This is not a chili that takes hours and hours to simmer to perfection. This is just when you need something brown, hot, and plenty of it, basically. Okay, then I added about 4 tablespoons of chili powder, which is a lot, but I want to pack a lot of flavor into this chili. All right, so this chili is all mixed together. Okay, so I'm gonna let the chili simmer for about 10 minutes. And while it does, I'm gonna lay out the stuff for the burritos. 10 minutes later, look at this chili. It's amazing that you can make a chili this delicious in such a small amount of time. So I've been busy laying out the fixins for the burritos. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the chili off. The stove has done its work, and I'm gonna build the first burrito. So flour tortillas, of course, and I'm gonna add a generous amount of chili to the center. I don't know, how much should I add?
A lot.
Oh, more, okay. Like a cup or so?
That's good.
That's good.
How's that?
That's the spot.
And then, of course, cheese, right? Onions, corn chips, sour cream. Okay, so to roll this up, if it's even possible to roll this up.
I think you put too many corn
I
chips.
always do that. So I'm gonna roll in the sides, roll over one of the other sides, and then, come on, Ree. Come on, Ree, the kids are watching.
There's a hole in the burrito.
Alex. Alex, shush.
You put too many corn chips in there.
No, I did not. Golly, ma'am. Okay, I've got some olive oil, and I already put a skillet over medium heat, so I'm gonna add plenty of olive oil, or you could do butter. And I'm gonna take this big old burrito with a hole in it that Alex just pointed out, and I'll put it seam side down. And then it's optional to grill your burritos. You can leave it totally ungrilled and just go ahead and mow this down right now. But if you have the time to grill it, it makes all the difference in the world. Oh, it's gonna be such a treat. All right, so check this out, Alex. I just wanted to do the first side to kind of seal that seam. Ooh,
Oh my God.
that looks so
What?
good. I knew it would blow your mind. All right, now I'm just gonna babysit this until it looks exactly the same on the other side, and then I'll take it off, slice into it. I think the burrito is ready. I'm gonna get it and flip it over onto the plate. Oh. All right, I wanna show you what the inside looks like. Ready? Ooh, you don't want the skillet to be so hot that you burn the tortilla before the cheese is melted. So let's see if I practice what I preach. Oh my gosh, look at this. And you can wrap it with a paper towel, hand it to your teenager when he walks out the door in the morning, he or she. But I'm telling you what, when it comes to teenager food, it doesn't get any better than this. Now I've got some onions and garlic that I've been sauteing away. They're nice and soft by now, a little bit golden. Now I chopped up a whole bunch of chicken breasts, 4 pounds to be exact. I cut them into bite-sized pieces, and the whole thing's just gonna go right in. And now all I have to do is just stir the chicken around until it's lightly browned. Now, one of my favorite ingredients of this chili is good old Mexican beer. I'm gonna crack open a couple of bottles, not to drink, to put in the chili. And I'll add about 1.5 bottles, just pour it right in there with the chicken. Now I'm gonna save the rest of this for later after the chili has simmered a while. All right, now I'll just stir the beer and the chicken around. Okay, the pot is so hot that the beer is already starting to bubble up. It's gonna reduce pretty quickly, so I'll go ahead and add the rest of the ingredients to the chili. I've got 2 cans of diced tomatoes, and I'll just pour them in, juice and all. Okay, now this is Chipotle chicken chili, so I'm grabbing 2 canned Chipotle peppers. They're packed in adobo sauce, and these things are very spicy. And I'll just give them a quick chop. For extra flavor and smokiness, I'll scrape in a little bit of the adobo sauce that they're packed in. This stuff is just full of flavor. Now, I've got 3 kinds of beans. I love to have a chili really thick with beans. So I'm using kidney, black, and pinto beans. I love this combination. Now, I'll just give the chili a stir. Oh, it's looking so good. Now for the spice. I'll add 2 tablespoons of chili powder. And this is another area you can add more or less depending on who you're feeding. And then 2 tablespoons of cumin, which is one of my favorite chili spices to use. And then it needs quite a bit of salt, so I'll add about 2 teaspoons, and then I'll taste it later and make sure it's adequately salted. A little bit of black pepper. Now the chili already looks absolutely delicious, but after it cooks for a while, man, oh man, it gets nice and thick and rich. It takes a very steady hand for this. Try not to make too big of a mess. Ah, and it fit. It's a happy ending. This is my simple, perfect chili, and it really is just that. It's a total cinch to make. I just throw 2 pounds of ground beef into a large pot with 2 cloves of chopped garlic. Then cook it till it browns. While that's happening, I mix up the herbs and spices. 1 teaspoon of ground oregano, 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 2 tablespoons of chili powder, and 1 teaspoon of salt. Then I add an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce, the spices, and give it a good stir. Put on the lid and simmer it for an hour. After that, I grab a 1/4 cup of masa mixed with 1/2 cup of water. Masa is corn flour, and it thickens the chili and adds a great corn flavor. After an hour, I dump the masa mixture into the chili, stir it together well, then let it simmer for a few more minutes. Then it's done. Simply perfect. Okay, I just snipped the bags open. Dinner doesn't get much easier than this, does it? And I'm just gonna place them in the pot and then just pour some water over the top. And then heat them up and the water will eventually evaporate and it'll be perfect. All right, the chili's thawed. I'll just throw the beans in. I'm using kidney beans and pinto beans, but you can use whatever beans you have in your pantry. And I'm just gonna let this simmer gently until they get back from moving cattle around. And then I've got some fixins ready for the chili. The great thing about these fixins is they're all pantry and fridge standbys. I've got tortilla chips, lime wedges, red onion, and of course, grated cheese. You gotta have lots and lots of grated cheese when you serve chili. All right, who wants chili? you go, Alex Marie.
One, please.
1 scoop for Todd? Daddy, how many scoops?
I'll take 3 to start off with. Then I might have to eat Bryce's.
That does look good.